Hi guys, so today is going to be my official week 38 pregnancy vlog. I'm thrilled to be doing this because if any of you were watching my previous videos, my last doctor update, we avoided a potential early induction scare. So I thought that might be my last pregnancy update because for those of you who don't know, my doctor checkup on Monday, my blood pressure was not overwhelmingly high, but it was higher than my normal number, which is normally like, seriously, like perfect. It's like 122/72 or something like that. On Monday, it measured 142/81, and they were all lifting a brow to it. So on Wednesday, which was yesterday, I went in for a follow-up to recheck my blood pressure to see if it had gotten any higher, and it hadn't. It went right back down to normal where it normally is, and so the doctor said officially, he was like, you know, you don't have preeclampsia yet. I mean, it could still develop, but what typically happens is that within a 48-hour period, if you did have preeclampsia, it would have climbed. So it would have been fairly clear on Wednesday if you would have had it, and we would have then definitely needed to do an early induction. Although I was like almost 38 weeks anyway, so, you know, an induction is viable at any point from here on out anyway. So with that being said, I asked him, you know, what we can really expect then from here on out, what's the game plan, that kind of thing, because obviously I still want to avoid a C-section if we can. So he said that, you know, everything's good, everything's back to normal and perfect. However, because I have shown one or two signs of possibly becoming, you know, somebody with preeclampsia or whatever, that we'll just closely monitor, and if my blood pressure spikes up again, we'll have to reevaluate, and next time would probably be an induction. He did say, however, because because I've shown a symptom or two, that he does not want me to go late in this pregnancy. So he said, you know, if everything stays really good and I continue to want to be pregnant, we'll wait until my due date, which is exactly 2 weeks from today. And then, oh, sorry guys. Hold on one second. So we'll wait until the 11th. And if I have not gone into labor on my own naturally before the 11th, then we'll talk about an induction like on the 11th or on the 12th. So we're not going to go to week 41. And we talked about stats and things like that, and doing a possible membrane sweep, which now I'm a little torn. Like, I'm not really sure how exactly I want to go about that, because he did say it was uncomfortable, and I've seen some vlogs on here that have talked about a sweep, and that, you know, I've heard some people be like, oh, they're not so bad, and other people say that they're pretty painful. And I'm kind of thinking now that, you know, if I'm going to be induced on my due date or the day after anyway, then I don't really know if a membrane sweep is really that necessary, because I do have a kind of like a finalized time frame for how long I will be pregnant. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for those of you, again, who didn't catch that on Monday. So I have resumed going to work because I'm a glutton for punishment. However, I'm much more apt to ask my coworkers to help me shampoo. I'm definitely not, I'm looking at my schedule towards that last week. I was booked up until my due date, but now I'm looking at that week more specifically and scaling back on what I'm doing. Just trying to move clients around to either other coworkers or giving them a courtesy call to come in now if they need to get in, you know, if they're desperate. So my last day of work for clients that are watching will officially be October 5th. So if I have you down for an appointment beyond that point, I will be giving you a call to move it. Just because he said the likelihood, again, I'm also dilated, so he said the likelihood of me even lasting until my due date is not as likely. He said I could easily go into labor on my own before then. So I'm just trying to be a little bit more cautious, not trying to like overwork or hustle myself, just because that's what I have been doing recently, and I think that that may have triggered my brief blood pressure spike. So that's the game plan. Symptoms are still including, fatigue. Now, because of, his increasing length and size, I feel the pressure immensely. The doctor said he's not engaged yet, but he's not at the highest point either, which I forget what that is, like a -3 or something like that. But so I could definitely feel him getting lower and lower. And again, I'm dilated 1.5 centimeters, and I'm 75% effaced. I'll get an update on that on Tuesday. So, things are just kind of like, we're just waiting. I'm not necessarily busting out the guns to do any labor induction just yet, because ultimately I would really love to finish out. I'd like to get all the work that I can get in until the 5th. I'd like to really work until then. Just to stay busy and to make as much as I can before I go on leave. So, we'll see. But, if he comes earlier, he comes earlier. And I know that even though it would have been under terrible circumstances to have to induce immediately due to my blood pressure, we were both kind of bummed, because I think we were just, we're ready to meet this guy. We're ready to see what he looks like. So, but other than that, like I said, symptoms, I'm just way more pregnant. That's just pretty much, that's how I'm going to sum it up. My belly feels huge. His movements are way more pronounced now. Like, I can feel when it's a foot dragging. I am experiencing some swelling now, which is another reason why we were kind of another one of those symptoms that I could at some point develop the preeclampsia. It's not terrible still. It's not the real crazy stuff, but it's definitely way more than normal. I can feel it. I can see it in my face. I can feel the puffiness. So, that's coming. And I wondered if it would, but, at least we only have 2 weeks left max. So, yeah, I'm ready to not be pregnant and just to enjoy him while I can before I do have to go back to work. Whether that be before or after Thanksgiving, that's to be determined on when he kind of decides to show up. So, other than that, that's pretty much it. No other real symptoms other than just extreme pregnancy. I mean, heavy, tired. The swelling has begun. It's not out of control yet, but it has begun. The big one was the numbness in my right hand. I pretty much don't have sensation. And you can see how swollen my hand looks there too, actually. These 4 fingers, I don't have sensation in, and that's exactly how I use my shears. My pinky's really not involved. So, that to me is another sign that I needed to cut back on my work schedule. So, but that's it. So, if we make it to week 39, I will be updating absolutely. I am going to take advantage this weekend, and I know I keep saying this, but I am so doing that nursery tour. I did make one, but it was way too long, so I've got to figure out. I want to be able to take my time to condense it and edit it this weekend. So, nursery tour and hospital bag definitely coming, of course, unless I go into labor tonight. So, but that's it, guys. So, week 38, 2 weeks left max. Crazy. Have a good day, everybody, for those who are off to work. And I'll be keeping you guys updated, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.